Okay, good day to you. Just a very quick run through of how to export models from Blender to MD3, including textures. So first thing we're going to do, just open up Blender, get rid of the reference in there. I'll turn on show key so you can see what I'm doing down there. We're just going to add in a cube. Nice cube, keep it simple. And with that cube we are going to create a material. So we'll go with a new material and we're going to select texture for that. Let's go, where's my desktop? D for desktop. And I've just got a basic grid pattern which I usually use for dimensioning. So I can't even see that, it's so small. There we go, bung that on there. There's our grid pattern. I won't worry about scaling and everything, that's a different subject altogether. But what we need to do is, first thing is UV unwrap it. So the default cube comes unwrapped. I'll zoom in my screen so you can see everything. It's all looking a bit huge. But yeah, you can basically see the unwrapped cube on there, so I don't need to do any more with that. If you had a complex model, you'd have to unwrap it yourself and scale it and everything like that, but don't need to worry about that for now. So there we have our textured cube, don't need to be in edit mode. What we need to do is add a modifier, just so when it exports it allows it to easily go to triangles. So we want a tangent, begins with T, triangulate, there we go, not tangent, that's the one. So we've got a triangulate modifier attached. So that basically allows it to have triangle sides. We don't need to apply it. In case we need to come back and edit the mesh, we don't want to be, we can turn that off, but it's just for the purpose of exporting. We also need to add, where are we? In the properties, and this is the key bit for getting the texture to work. So I just need to double check actually what was the texture called. So it's called grid.png. So under material properties, custom properties down the bottom, you can see that, add a custom property. Hopefully you can see my mouse down there, and edit. So the properties is going to be called MD3 shader, and the property value is the name of your texture file. So this is grid.png, and OK. So that's added down there. So I've applied that to the whole object. You can apply that per face. So if you've got more than one texture on your model, you just need to add one of those for each face individually. But again, you know how to do that. This is just showing you where you need to, how to name the shader. Could have that in a backslash something or other if it's in a subfolder, but we don't need to do that because I've got it all in the same folder for now. So we'll go File, or just in case you haven't done it, under Preferences, Add-ons, you'll find down here the MD3 exporter, so you may need to enable that if you haven't done that already. So then File, Export to MD3 with shaders. We want to stick that on our desktop. I'll stick it in there. So that's where I've got my grid.png, and then we can just call this what we got, MD3 underscore export, just so I can call it whatever you want really, but that's what I'm going to call it. Actually, you don't need to worry about the skin path because we're not using skins. We're going to use this as a shader, so we'll ignore that. Export. No errors. Good start. So now we can just open up our MD3 viewer, cross our fingers, file, open, desktop, MD3 export, export MD3, and there we have our textured cube. So you can see the mesh is there, 12 faces, 24 vertices. The material, so obviously it's got default material, it's cube, so that's the name of the mesh as it was in Blender. So this is called cube. That's the object, so that's what that is. It's useful to name things so you can understand them later, but again, it's just a demonstration. And then texture is grid.png. So that comes from obviously in the modify down the bottom there. That's it. Job done. Thank you very much for watching. We'll leave it there.